A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. And also, welcome back to part 3 of the channeling session. Divine Masculine wants to meet the Divine Feminine on the other side. And this is part 3. So, all of these things, they have not come in the same channeling. They have come in separate channelings, but all of these statements like now I personally want to say to all of the divine feminines, and I always say this, that focus on the mission and focus on the work you're doing. And this channel is specifically to uplift your spirits, make you feel confident about who you are, and also confident on the love that you have going on between both of you. It's not one-sided. So when I do these channelings, I also expect and I hope and I also intend that all of you are going to get the positive energy from it, but at the same time, you will also be completely focused on your own empowerment and the mission work you're here to do and your purpose on planet Earth. Then combined with these channelings and all the messages and all the videos, even the music, all of these things, then it will have a very big impact. And some of the lines that he's saying in this channeling is that I will never let you go. You are my destiny. That I can feel you, your love, your energy rushing through my veins. Rushing through my veins, it's in my blood. Wow, I mean, even I was not expecting to get these lines, I'll be very honest with you. Now he's also saying that I have tried to escape from you because I really did not understand love at that point in time. Though I felt so much love with you, and even in separation, I was very clear about this, that I do love her. I do love her a lot. Probably I've really loved her the most, but it just cannot work out between me and her. We are so different. We have these issues, we have these problems. We do this, we behave like this, we behave like that. She behaves like this, I behave like that. Now all of that is to him looking like something that can happen with any ordinary couple too. So for me, it's not like condescending ordinary couples or saying that, okay, you are in the twin flame journey, you are a star seed, or you're someone, a very old soul, and the rest are just ordinary. That's not the way I'm saying it. It's like when he looks at other people and he looks at themselves, he thinks that something is wrong with them and everyone else is normal, the ordinary people. I am like the black sheep, and so is my divine feminine, because something is wrong with us. And obviously for a long time he said something is wrong with her. Finally he has come to something is wrong with us. Then he will come to something is wrong with me. And then he will realize that there's nothing wrong with us or her or me or with this whole equation. And then he will start to see the normalcy, the love, the compassion, and the kindness towards others and for themselves. And the more you flow in one love, you actually don't have to do anything. The more you flow in one love, you will have the sacral chakra will start functioning well, and without any effort or much effort, you will have a smooth interaction between one another. Even in families, there are siblings, they fight all the time. Like they're fighting. Some of them even go as crazy as they start hitting one another. They cut their hairs. They do all sorts of pranks. But when you talk to them about staying away from the sibling or staying away from one another, or, anything happens to the sibling, the other one is always there. Like like a tall, huge support. Same happens in a lot of best friends who fight a lot, argue a lot, discuss a lot, but then they love each other the most. So this is something normal, but for him, he doesn't understand because he's not been raised like that, or he hasn't seen life in that way. He thinks that only when everyone is talking nicely, sweetly, politely to one another, everyone is always singing and dancing, or everyone is always just being the same monotonous person with one another. He thinks that monotony is love, and a change or changes or adventure in relationships is not a safe place to be. This is just a mental programming. So now in this channeling, it seems to be that he is all gung-ho about the divine feminine. And then he's also saying that I'm going to be in a steady space. I'm not going to mess around too. I take responsibility, And he even says that you're really hot for me. Like, he really finds her to be very, 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 very hot. And I know that a lot of people confuse sex with love and love with sex, but I don't think he's confused about it, or even she's confused about it, but he thinks that she's super hot. In fact, I should be doing a separate channeling because there are some very strong, intense lines coming to me, but I've not yet catched it fully, but I think I will. But he thinks that she's very hot, and he feels like, oh my God, like she's really turns me on in so many ways, mentally, physically, emotionally. And she's so real, she's so raw. Like, that type of rawness is what he really wanted in the divine feminine, or in the person he thought that he would eventually totally be in love with. So yeah. Now there's one more thing that is very strongly being felt by, obviously, first the divine feminines and then himself also, that the divine masculines have always been very protected, very guarded, very shielded. They've really been spoon-fed. It's almost like someone has to babysit them. And this is the one problem, like excessive amount of love, excessive amount of protection, excessive amount. That's the reason why they're also very intelligent. A lot of them are very well-read. They've watched like all sorts of movies and documentaries. You can ask them one question and they will always know. But the problem with the divine masculines is that they don't have practical experience of life. They have a knowledge, they know things, they've heard things, they've read things, and they've been successful so far because they were so guarded and shielded and protected by their own family members. And that even they didn't like. It's like they were also feeling it's all overbearing and this and that. But when they meet the feminines, it's like an instant attraction, very strong instant attraction. And even if they have, like not wanting to go out with someone or not wanting to be with anyone unless it's not permanent, despite all of those notions and making those vows with themselves, when they go away from the divine feminine, the DFs, they decide to leave them, it's purely because their ego cannot handle the truth. Their ego cannot handle the truth that she actually knows stuff, and I do have a soul connection with her. And in many situations, the divine feminine came across as more intelligent, more wise, and she was like, yeah, I can do this, I can deal with it. It's just an emotion, it's just this, it's just that. So he also started competing with her. He also started, like trying to test her, like how good she is emotionally after all, or how good she is spiritually. If she's so spiritual, if she's, can meditate and do this and do that, then she should be able to handle any emotions, even if I'm difficult in front of her. That's a really horrible thing to do to someone you love. And I obviously support the divine feminines, with this, that when they say, some of them say that, he made me go through this, he made me go through that. It's because they were sort of at first very enamored, and then it became a competitive streak which turned mean. And then obviously the divine feminines didn't stand their ground as well, which means that if I tell you something like, hey, this is wrong, and then he starts acting up and says, what? You tell me that I'm wrong? Yeah, you're wrong. And then he says some mean things, and then she says some mean things. And after that, he just vanishes away. And that's when she gets scared. And she's like, oh my God, now he's going to leave me. Now he's going to go away. Why? Because I said this, because I did that. So when the feminine goes away, or she went away during the separation phase, this is the time, because he was the one who blocked her, who said those mean things to her. Now, obviously, someone has to show self-respect. So this also happened after many times of coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. It can really frustrate a sane person. A normal person can get really frustrated. And so many times that the divine masculine went away when they had this on and off runner-chaser dynamic. I won't even call that phase runner-chaser dynamic, because I have noticed in many cases that the feminine also sometimes used to leave, because it's like after trying to convince a person so many times that, you know, it's a beautiful relationship, don't throw it away, have some gratitude, everything will work out. These things keep happening. And even though there was toxicity, but at that point in time, the toxicity was not from her side, okay? So she decided to walk away, and every time she would walk away, and I'm not talking about the longest separation, I'm talking about the other separations. Every time she walked away, she really did work on her, like do a lot of work and did a lot of work on her. And then she would raise her energy, she would raise her frequency, she would raise her vibrations. She would be on a much higher level, very, very confident, very happy, very peaceful, and also making choices. And like I said, it's not like the divine feminines don't get the karmics. They also get karmics, and they also have their own, relationships, even after meeting the twin flame. So all those people who think that, okay, once you meet the twin, then there's no one else coming in your life. Well, it can happen to some of you, but a lot of people, and this is what the patterns have shown, and this is what analysis have shown, that a lot of divine feminines also meet karmics, and because of the karmics, the journey proceeds further, because, she's treated very well by the karmics, quite opposite to what the masculines go through. For the masculine, it's like really bad being with a karmic, which they cannot even express or cannot even show it off, because they always have some foundation with the karmic. Like one of the cases, I found out that this guy who was, with this very spiritual girl, he actually left her after all of this to and fro. And then he thought that, he will have a better life. So he moved to another city, a new place, a more fancy place, where he could do more of the things, like more fun, more partying, more going out, because that is the life he wanted. And there he met another girl, and this is the time when they were in separation, and he thought that, okay, this would be really a good option. But the option became even lucrative when the karmic decided to invest money in his business ideas or something like that. And then the relationship became legal. So all the things that looked really nice, just few months down the line, it all became very torturous, because now there's money involved, there is legal paperwork involved, and you cannot get out of it, because there is also a commitment that has been made in terms of family commitment, a more solid commitment. So then the divine masculine, now he cannot go for any babysitting, because now he's in a deeper mess. And this type of the mess cannot even be solved by the mother or the father or anyone else who has been babysitting him for such a long time. So it takes a lot of practical and not theory. And I'm going to say this in this channeling again, because practical is what teaches people everything. Now, the divine feminines have had practical experience since childhood. They had met abusers, they had trauma, they have had trauma, they have seen the money situation, they have lived with family members who neglected them or ignored them completely, or they had to many times hide their gifts. So many things, and then they were on the spiritual journey, and it really taught them a lot. And they had also learned to fall in love with themselves. And I know some of you would be thinking that why am I so pro the divine feminines in this part, especially part 3? It's because in this channeling session, even though the masculine says that you are the hottest for me, there's no one like you, you're like fire, you're like magic, and I want to take you higher, and I want to do this to you, and I want to do that to you, and I'm going to commit to you. It's not happening because he really was doing that initially. It's happening because he had the practical experience of what hell feels like and what a bad relationship feels like. Also, many people saw this trend, or this again came out after talking to a lot of them and, all the analysis, that the divine masculines normally have not had very deep, meaningful, long relationships. They were always in short relationships, short flings, and even if they made solid commitments, they were very short-lived commitments. Even if they got engaged to someone, it was probably just for a few months or something like that. That's the divine feminines who have always been in long-term relationships since ever since they got into the relationship zone or the dating zone. Even if she went out for the first time with a guy, it turned into a relationship which went on for 2-3 years or something like that. So just giving an example, the divine feminines had more experience in relationships, and this bloke, the divine feminine, the masculine, all the blokes basically, masculines were basically thinking that, flings are so bad, I should rather get into a relationship. Obviously, he was getting into flings. It's because they did not want all the intensity. That is also one of the big facts. People who want to avoid commitments or they want to avoid long-term relationship, it's because they cannot handle intensity, they cannot handle commitments, and they cannot be responsible. And this is also the reason why he ran away from the commitment that he made to the divine feminine. Because he is not ready for responsibility. He has to always go to his mother or his father or someone who's going to babysit him, who is going to cry to. And all of this made the divine feminine very angry, full of rage, Like, this is too much, man. You're getting all the money, all the pampering, all the love, all the affection, and you got it from me too. And then what do? You just keep finding faults in people, you keep blaming people, keep saying this, you keep saying that, and then also there is this element of sympathy. So the divine feminines, because they've been done wrong by so many people, and they've been neglected by so many people and for such a long time, so they have this really bad habit of sympathizing with people, over sympathy or sympathy. Sympathy is never good, empathy is good. So due to their sympathetic nature, they will go out of their way, to help others out. And the divine masculine especially, who are so used to pampering and who are so used to, all the affection, at first they really enjoy it. They really like all the affection coming to them. And when they see that the situation is serious now, and, there are responsibilities that I would have to run the house for this girl, or I would have to help her out in the business, and then in the business or in whatever, running the house, being responsible, all of those things. And then he also sees that she's very spiritual. She doesn't want to have alcohol, she wants to have organic food. So he also starts making these changes in his life. And these changes are very new for the others around him. And it's also new for the others. At the same time, it's new for him. But he's very enamored by her lifestyle. He's very impressed by her lifestyle. He goes like, wow, she's really doing some really cool things, So he starts to copy paste it because it's like theory. They have always learned things, mugged up things, read things, and I'm not trying to condescend them, because I have spoken highly about the divine masculines also, and because of this I got many emails and many messages and long comments from the DFs like, hey, why are you being so nice to them and nice about them? They are not so nice, they've not done nice things and blah blah blah, and he was a cheater, he was a drug user, or he was a this, he was a that, and still you're like doing talking highly. So I have spoken highly about them on the qualities that they possessed, the good qualities, but these were the bad qualities that led to the separation. And a lot of you will actually be raising your hands when you listen to this channeling, because all of you would feel very present to this situation. So initially, and obviously for some time, it's like, wow, she's doing these things. And then all these small separations, they made the divine feminine even stronger and stronger and stronger. So now, at first when she met him, she wanted to eat only, organic veggies. After some time, she's like, no, as much as I eat organic food, I should also meditate every day, and I should make it a routine. Or she would start going away for these meditation camps, or she would take it very seriously, because she had to do energy work. Every time there was a trigger, every time there was this on and off situation, even in those times, to come up, to get uplifted, she had to do inner work. She would either read a book, or she would either go out alone, she would become more independent, because every time the divine masculines run away, they run away in such a way that it seems that they're never coming back. So then she picks up all the pieces and she becomes independent. Even if it's happening for a week, she does something, new, and she becomes very independent. And say, for example, she doesn't call him back after a week, 15 days also, 20 days also. And he goes like, oh my God, she didn't even call me back. I broke up with her, I blocked her, but she never bothered to get back with me or just find out what's up with me. And then he happens to check her social media and he sees that, oh, she's on a trip. She went for a 4-day vacation to some beach. And he goes crazy with that. Because it's like, oh, I thought she would be so sad and she would be crying for me, and she would be like, oh, as always, she would be convincing me, begging me to come back and, like not be this way. But look at her. She's having a good time. So it took him a long time actually to understand her. And when the longest separation happened, he really thought that this is it. This is all that she has got, and there's nothing else, interesting in her. And with all the things that he learned from her, he actually made it a part of him, like telling other people that this is his lifestyle. So when he attracts the karmics get attracted by that lifestyle, which is what he learned from the divine feminines, which is what he picked up from there. And this can also play out with a lot of false twins over there, because false twins also do that. But false twins are obviously energy vampires and they cannot progress. After a certain point, the progress stops. So they cannot go beyond that because they are not here to spiritually ascend in this life. They have other lives and they will continue their journey. But the divine masculines, it's like when you do the ultimate level of betrayal, when you do the worst possible to the person who really showed a lot of faith in you, a lot of affection, a lot of love. So it was basically her decision after being in few relationships. For some, it was one serious relationship that went on for 7 years, 8 years, 5 years, whatever. And for some people, it would be something else, like 2 relationships, or for some people, probably she gets engaged and then after some time it doesn't work out. So she goes like, I have been in many bad relationships or relationships that didn't work out. Not saying that other people were bad. I was probably equally bad, or I probably needed work. With that notion, she goes away. But then before meeting the divine masculine, she's very sure that she doesn't want to do any time pass affair or anything, like that. And only when the guy, persists, and only when the guy pursues a woman, only then a woman has to, be like, okay, someone is pursuing me. She doesn't want to pursue anyone. So initially, it was the divine masculine that sort of pursues her, sort of asks her out, or sort of shows interest in her. And then she thinks that, okay, maybe this is someone interesting, it can work out. And then he also shows a lot of love, You cannot clap from one hand. We say it here in India. We need both the hands to clap. Similarly, later on, it turned out like she's the one who's crazy about me. She's the one who's a chaser, or she's the one who's obsessed. She's the one who's so clingy, and she's the one who's this. And obviously, now comes her part, that she also made many mistakes. Number one mistake is to expect so much from other people. And that other people can also include the partner, the life partner you have. You have to be independent emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. It's not that the man is incapable. It's because you have to be capable. You should never depend on other people. So she depended on him for many things. She expected many things from him. And when the expectations didn't work out, obviously there was bad mood, there was bad situation, negativity, all of those things happened. So finally, after all of this, he finally realizes that she's the one who's hottest for me. She's the one I want to wait for. She's the one. So though I am bringing these things up, but I also want to tell you all, and this is a very clear message, don't dwell on the past, because all of these things are all human problems. These are all human behavioral problems. And the ascension journey basically is very smartly designed by the universe, and no one can fool the plan of the universe. Universe is like so precise, and that's why, when I see the sacral geometry figures and I see the sacral geometry artwork, it's like, oh my God, the calculation is so precise. There is not even one point here or there. Even when you look at a leaf, or even when you look at your own hands, you look at the lines on your hands, it's like everyone has different lines, everyone has different formats, and yet everyone is so same. The fingerprints, there is not even a single person who can match with another person's fingerprints. That is the amount of design, that is the amount of work, that is the level of work that the universe can do. Universe is flawless, and yet it accepts flaws. So we cannot beat the universe, we cannot deceive the universe, and that's why the ascension journey is designed in such a way that every divine masculine, no matter who he is, no matter where he lives, he most definitely gets a very, very strong practical taste of whatever he did bad to the feminine. It all sort of comes back to him, and he kind of learns the lessons via the karmics, or via the profession, or via the change in the city, or via anything. Somehow something happens that he is completely all by himself, and he has nowhere to go to, nowhere to run to, no one to cry to, and then he has to kind of work on himself. He maybe looks for a better therapist, or a genuine therapist. Maybe he starts reading books. Maybe he leaves everything. He becomes a better man. He starts living better, more healthy, becomes more mindful. And then finally, he reaches to a point where he learns to surrender to the woman he has fallen in love with. He finally realizes that, well, I can do anything and everything, but I cannot escape this feeling. Because he feels her in his veins, he feels. Now the divine masculine is like, I want to take you to a place where we can be happy. Like he's talking about a place, a mental place, a more emotional place, where he's like, I know I did you wrong, I did this, I did that, but I'm a better man, I'm a changed person. I'm never gonna do this, because it's like he's also done with it. So before meeting the feminine, even he had a temporary awakening, a spiritual awakening. Now, coming to the most important part of this channeling is the three words that were given to me. The first one I had already shared, reverence, and why these words were given to me is because I had asked a question as to why the divine feminines keep fluctuating. Why is it that they cannot, like once you reach to a certain energy level, once you reach to a certain energy point, why is it that they keep coming down? And because they keep coming down and keep going up, coming down, there's not, the stable source integration is not happening. So Number one reason is reverence, because reverence means you give respect, huge amount of respect to the source. And when you give huge amount of respect, huge amount of love to the source, unconditional love, that's the time when you have respect and love. That's the only time you can actually practice faith. So faith became the second word, which is, in Hindi we call it, not faith, I'm sorry, the word was given to me is devotion. So the first word is reverence, the second word is devotion, and the third word is control on senses, which means basically controlling. Again, Hindi words are coming to my mind. It's called Sanyam or Niyantran, which means control. So controlling your senses or keeping them in a state where, you're not running after the sensory perceptions. The word for this in Hindi again is Indriya. Now, if you're Indian, then you can Google the word. But if you're not, then I would say that it's the sensory perceptions, basically, that cause addictions. And when you cannot control them, then automatically they start ruling your life instead of other way around, So if I actually do a proper translation, then Indriya Sanyam is called sense restraint. So not really going by all the senses like taste, touch, hearing, sight, smell. Now we all also have sixth sense, which we don't work upon. And during the ascension journey, the sixth sense, that's why you have all the gifts. The sixth sense starts awakening and it becomes stronger and stronger. So you have to control this habit. Like some people are so fond of eating, they keep eating all kinds of things. So this brings discipline. Now the universe also said that why these things are important, these three things, reverence, devotion, and controlling your senses or sense restraint, as I said, is because if you don't do that, then you will fall out of the discipline, you will not have the right type of beliefs, and that will create doubts. And whenever you create doubts, then automatically your journey will become difficult, because the doubts are basically negative energies, and those negative energies will have an impact on your twin flame journey, your relationship with the DM as well, because the more doubts you have, it will start reflecting on him, and even other things like finances, money, family relationships, or whatever. And most importantly, your own empowerment. So if you have doubts that I'm not able to do it, or I can't do it, or it's not gonna happen, then automatically you will be in bad company. You will automatically have sophistry. Basically, it's the use of clever but false arguments. So many people, because you have read a lot of stuff, you have read a lot of books, and there's a lot of knowledge also which is floating around. So when a person gets into doubts, then they start practicing sophistry, where they will keep, talking to themselves, and they'll keep having clever arguments whereby they will, want to have false arguments. It's like you're trying to win, but the person you're talking to is you. It's like convincing a person to say, oh, it's fine, it's all right, nothing is going to happen. For example, you want to go to the bar and you want to drink a beer, or you want to have like a cocktail, but you're on a health diet, and especially in the ascension journey, everyone knows, most people know. If you don't know, then you will know now, that alcohol is one of the worst poison. It's equal to chemical drugs. Very dangerous chemical drugs are benzodiazepines, which are really a big no-no for people on the ascension journey. Alcohol is a big no-no. So you go out, you're like, okay, so what? It's just one drink, or it's just two drinks. And then next morning, you cannot be in the same way. You cannot act in the same way. You cannot get up with the same energy. So being healthy or being mentally healthy is also like giving yourself the right type of diet and the right type of discussion. the right type of content, because content is the food for the mind, just the way regular food is food for body. When this type of sophistry increases, then the person becomes full of illusions. The mind is very unstable. 1 minute the mind says, I want to do this, or say for example, today the DF says, no, it's the DM, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with him. Whenever he comes back, till then I will be doing some work. And then the next day she goes like, no, he's not the right person for me. So that decisiveness, that decision making gets, all the way affected. Then there is lack of faith. You don't have faith in the universe. You don't have faith in your masters. You don't have faith in the laws of the universe. You become weak. So these doubts, these are the reasons why the Divine Feminine cannot raise her energy. And I'll definitely do a separate video on how Divine Feminines can increase their energy or raise their vibration, because I've also received a request for this video. So definitely I will share this, because I think this will help people in some way. So there are many things that Divine Feminines can do to raise their energy, but they need to be in a stable energy so that the union with the source, the integration with the source is possible, and it's a permanent one, it's a stable one. So for those Divine Feminines who have actually been working on this, and they have been they're not the crybabies, or they're not like, oh, I can't do this, it's so difficult, it's so difficult to eat healthy, to live healthy, it's so difficult to not gossip, it's so difficult. I know Divine Feminines are amazing, some of them are amazing, but if it's very difficult, then that means that 3 of these things are lacking in a big way. And the takeaway of this channeling session is that the Divine Masculine is literally almost ready, and he's waiting on the other side, and he's ready, not even almost ready, because in this channeling he says these words that I am ready. It's not like the energy is only like that, but he actually says these lines, these sentences, that I am ready, you're the reason I'm here, you are my destiny, there's nothing that can stop us, nothing can come between us. And he also says that I need you to make it. I need you to make it, because I'm ready, and so are you, and so should you be. So on this note, I'm going to end this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all a lot, and I really pray for everyone's growth and progress. One love and peace out.